A poor mother sells flowers on the street with her twins by her side, until a billionaire stops his car and does the impossible. The traffic light turned red for the 10th time that afternoon. Eliza took a deep breath and held the bouquet of flowers tighter. Her hands were freezing. Her thin coat did nothing against the cold wind, but she couldn't give up. Not yet. On the sidewalk, sitting on the curb, Chloe and Zoe waited wrapped in a worn blanket. The two blonde girls looked at their mother with those clear, trusting eyes, a trust that Eliza wasn't sure she deserved. She approached a grey sedan, tapped on the window. The man inside didn't even look up. He just waved his hand, dismissing her before she could even speak. Eliza took a step back and moved to the next car, a woman in dark sunglasses, window rolled up, eyes fixed straight ahead. "Please," Eliza tapped lightly on the glass. "They are fresh flowers." The woman pretended not to hear, looked at her phone. Eliza bit her lip and moved on. Next car, a young man with headphones on. She knocked. He lowered the window just a crack. "No thanks," and closed it before she could reply. She looked back. The girls were still there, quiet. Chloe adjusted the blanket over Zoe. Eliza felt a tightness in her chest. The light turned green. Cars sped up, almost hitting her feet. She jumped back. Another light turned red, another attempt. A black sedan. Tinted windows. She knocked harder this time. Nothing. Knocked again. The driver accelerated through the red light, turning the corner and disappearing. Eliza pressed her hand to her forehead. She was tired, so tired. She looked at the flowers. They were starting to wilt. If she didn't sell them today, tomorrow they would be worthless, and the money she had spent to buy them, she couldn't think about that now. She went back to the sidewalk, knelt in front of the girls. "How are you two doing?" she asked softly, forcing a smile. Zoe pointed to a passing dog. "Woof, woof," she said in her tiny, high-pitched voice. Eliza truly smiled this time. She kissed both their foreheads. "Mommy is going to try a little more, okay?" Chloe nodded with her small hand. Eliza stood up and walked back toward the cars. More rejections. A man in a suit who didn't even lower the window. A woman who said, "Not today," with pity in her voice. A taxi driver who laughed at her. A couple arguing inside the car who didn't even notice her. Eliza felt the threat of tears, but she couldn't cry, not in front of the girls. She looked at the sky. The sun was already setting. It would soon be dark. Then what? Next car. A large SUV. She knocked on the window. The man inside rolled it down and looked at the flowers. "How much?" Eliza felt a flicker of hope. $10 a bouquet. "They are fresh. I picked them this morning." He looked doubtful. "5. Eliza hesitated. $5 was barely enough for one meal. 8. 5 or nothing. He was already rolling up the window. "Fine." She quickly handed him the flowers. 5. He pulled a crumpled bill from his pocket and tossed it out the window. Eliza caught it mid-air, one bouquet sold. Finally. But when she looked at the remaining flowers, at the girls on the sidewalk, at the darkening sky, $5 was nothing. She needed more. Much more. Her stomach rumbled. How long had it been since she had eaten a proper meal? 2 days? 3? She couldn't even remember anymore. The important thing was that Chloe and Zoe ate. They were the ones who truly needed it. Another red light. Eliza positioned herself, took a deep breath. This time it had to work. She went up to a red car, tapped on the window. "Please." Her voice came out weaker than she wanted. The driver looked at her, then at the flowers, then back at her. "No," just like that. "No." Eliza felt something break inside, but she kept going. Next car. She knocked. "Please, buy the flowers." The woman inside shook her head. "Sorry, sweetie, next one. Please, buy the flowers." "I don't have change." "Next one." "Please, buy the flowers." "I already bought flowers this week." "Next one." "Please, buy the flowers." Silence. Rolled up window. Empty gaze. Eliza stopped in the middle of the street. Cars honked. People shouted at her to get out of the way, But she couldn't move. She looked at the girls. Chloe and Zoe were looking at her with those clear eyes, waiting, always waiting, trusting that their mother would solve everything, and Eliza wasn't solving anything. She walked back to the sidewalk, her legs trembling. She sat next to the girls and pulled them close. "I'm sorry," she whispered, her voice choked. "Mommy is trying." Zoe rested her blonde head on her shoulder. Eliza closed her eyes, just for a second, just to breathe. Then she heard the sound of a car stopping. She opened her eyes. A sleek black car had pulled over near them. The window was down, and the man inside, he was looking at them. It wasn't a look of pity. It wasn't a look of judgment. It was something else. As if he were truly seeing, Eliza slowly stood up, picked up the flowers. Maybe, just maybe. She approached the car. Her legs were still shaking. Her heart pounded quickly. She tapped on the window that was already open. The man was in his mid-30s, dark hair, serious but not cold eyes. He looked at her. Then at the girls, then back at her. Eliza took a deep breath and gathered all the strength she had left. "Please." Her voice was firm now. It was no longer a whisper. It was a real plea. "Buy the flowers." He didn't answer, just looked. She continued, urgently, "I need to feed my daughters." The words came out fast, almost breathlessly, because it was true. Because she needed it, because she didn't know what else to do. The man looked at the twins again. They had stood up and were on the sidewalk, holding the blanket together. Two small, blonde girls with clear eyes, waiting. He took his wallet from his pocket. Eliza held the flowers with both hands, ready to hand them over, but he took the cash and extended it to her. "I'll keep the flowers." Eliza blinked and confused. "What?" "Save them." He spoke calmly. "You will need to sell them to other people." She looked at the money. $50, $100, $200, $200. Her hands began to shake. The tears she had held back all day finally threatened to fall. "I can't. It's too much." "You can." He placed the money carefully in her hand. "Take care of them, and of yourself too." Eliza couldn't speak. Her throat was too tight. "Thank you," she managed to whisper. "Thank you so much." He just nodded. The light turned green, and he drove off. Eliza stood still, looking at the money in her hand, then at the car pulling away, then at the flowers she still held. Then she ran to the girls. She knelt in front of them and pulled them into a tight hug. This time the tears came, and she let them. "It's going to be okay," she whispered between sobs. "Mommy promises. It's going to be okay." Chloe and Zoe hugged their mother with their little arms. They didn't understand what had happened. They just knew that Mommy was happy now. And that was enough. 3 days passed. Liam tried to forget. He returned to his routine, the meetings, the reports piling up on his desk. He closed deals, answered emails, attended video conferences, everything the same, all on autopilot. But every time he passed that intersection, he slowed down. He looked toward the curb, searching. She was never there. Maybe she had found something better. Maybe the $200 had helped. Maybe she no longer needed to sell flowers, but Liam couldn't stop thinking about the 2 blonde girls, about the worn blanket, about that mother who pleaded without losing her dignity. On Thursday, he left the office early. He had no reason. He just grabbed his keys, told his secretary he wouldn't be back, and left. He drove to the intersection. It was almost 5 in the afternoon. The sun was setting. Traffic was heavy as always. He stopped at the red light and looked at the sidewalk where he had first seen Eliza. Empty. The light turned green. Liam drove on, but at the next block, he turned around. He came back, stopped again in the same place. This time he saw her. Eliza was there. Same clothes, same thin coat that didn't ward off the cold, same flowers in her hands, only wilted now. The twins sat on the curb, wrapped in the familiar blanket. She approached cars, tapped on windows, received negatives, went back, tried again. Liam parked across the street and got out of his car. He leaned against the hood, just watching. Eliza tried to sell to a man in a suit. He didn't even open the window. She went to the next car, a woman who shook her head before Eliza could even speak. Then a young man on a motorcycle who sped up when she approached. She returned to the sidewalk, her shoulders slumped. She knelt in front of the girls and adjusted the blanket over them. She said something that Liam couldn't hear. Chloe and Zoe smiled. Eliza stood up, took a deep breath, and returned to the cars. That's when she saw him. She stopped in the middle of the sidewalk. Her eyes widened. The flowers almost fell from her hand. Liam walked across the street slowly. She stood frozen, unsure what to do. "Hi," he said when he got close. "Hi." Her voice was low, surprised. "You... me?" The twins looked at Liam. Zoe tilted her head, curious. Chloe gave a shy little smile. "You came back," Eliza said. "I came back." She looked at the flowers in her hands, then at him, then at the girls. I don't know what to say." "You don't have to say anything." Liam put his hands in his pockets. "Have you had dinner?" Eliza blinked, confused. "Excuse me? Dinner? You and the girls? Have you eaten today?" She hesitated. "We bought some bread earlier, but there's a diner over there." Liam pointed to the corner. Home-style food. Nothing fancy, but it's good. "You don't have to..." "I know I don't have to." He gave a half smile. "But I want to." Eliza looked at the twins. They were looking at Liam with those clear, attentive eyes. "Why are you doing this?" she asked softly. "I don't know." Liam was honest. "But I would like you to accept." Eliza was silent. Then she nodded slowly. "Okay." Liam approached the girls. Zoe extended her little arms to him without any fear. Liam picked her up. She was too light. Chloe held her mother's hand tightly. They walked to the diner. It was a simple place. Scratched formica tables, old chairs, some with torn upholstery. But it smelled good. The smell of real food. The waitress smiled when they walked in. "Good evening. Table for how many?" "4," Liam replied. "Come right this way." She led them to a table near the window. Eliza sat down and put Chloe on her lap. Liam held Zoe, who immediately started playing with the buttons on his shirt. The waitress handed them 2 menus. "I'll be back to take your order." Eliza picked up the menu and looked at the prices. Her face tightened. "You can order anything," Liam said. "Just a burger is fine." "Eliza," he waited for her to look up. "You can order a proper dinner, for you and for them." She bit her lip, looked at the menu again, more slowly this time. When the waitress returned, Eliza ordered 2 kids' burgers with fries, 2 orange juices, and a plate of grilled chicken with rice and salad for herself. Liam ordered the same thing she did. While they waited, Zoe tried to grab the salt shaker. Liam gently moved it away and gave her a paper napkin to play with. She started crumpling it, concentrating. Chloe was quiet on her mother's lap, but her clear eyes observed everything around her. "They are very calm," Liam commented. "They always have been." Eliza ran her hand over Chloe's blonde hair. "Since they were born. They hardly ever cried." I guess they already understood that. There wasn't room for much noise. Liam felt a pang in his chest. "How old are they?" "Dad too. They'll be 3 in January." "What are their names?" Eliza smiled, a small but genuine smile. "This one is Chloe." She pointed to the girl on her lap. "And this is Zoe." "Zoe." Liam looked at the girl in his arms. She had stopped playing with the napkin and was looking at him intently. "Hi, Zoe," she smiled, a huge smile that lit up her little face. "She likes you," Eliza said, surprised. "She's usually shy with strangers." "Maybe I don't look like a stranger to her." Eliza looked at Liam, a long look, as if she were trying to understand him. The food arrived. The twins. Eyes lit up when they saw the plates. Eliza cut Chloe's burger into small pieces. Liam did the same with Zoe's, placing some pieces on a small plate in front of her. The girls ate slowly, chewing carefully. Eliza also ate, but kept looking at her daughters the whole time, making sure they were okay. Liam realized she was barely touching her own food. She would eat one forkful, then wait. Observing. "Aren't you hungry?" he asked. "I am." She ate another piece. "I'm just not used to it." "To what? To this?" She made a vague gesture. "Sitting. Eating calmly. Having someone next to me. I don't know. It's been a long time." Liam didn't say anything. He just pushed the plate of French fries closer to her. She picked one up and ate it. After a while, Eliza spoke again, her voice low. "Why did you come back?" Liam looked at her. "I kept thinking about you all. For the past few days, every time I passed that intersection. But why? You don't know me. You don't know them." "I know." He wiped a bit of ketchup from Zoe's face with a napkin. "But I couldn't forget." Eliza was quiet, looked at her plate. Then slowly she began to speak. "I got pregnant when I was 24. Her voice was low but steady. "I had been dating a guy for 2 years. We lived together. I thought it would work out, that we would get married, be a family." Liam listened without interrupting. "When I found out I was pregnant, I was scared," she continued. "But I was also happy. We always talked about having kids someday. So I thought it would be good." "And him?" "He pretended he was happy. At first," Eliza gave a humorless laugh. "But when I found out they were twins, everything changed." Chloe dropped a piece of fry. Eliza picked it up and wiped her little hand. He started becoming distant. He'd come home late. "Go out without telling me. I tried to talk, but he always had an excuse." She paused. "When I was 5 months along, he said he wasn't ready, that he didn't want 2 babies, that he had plans for his life, and this wasn't included. He left. He vanished." The word came out harshly. He left a note on the table, took his things, never came back. Liam pressed his lips together. He felt angry at a man he didn't even know. "I tried to find him after they were born, to register them, for him to at least acknowledge paternity." Eliza looked at the twins. "But he had changed cities, changed his number. He really disappeared. And you were left alone." "I was." She nodded. "My parents died when I was a teenager. Car accident. I was raised by an aunt, but she died of cancer when I was 20. I don't have siblings. I have no one." Zoe yawned. Liam adjusted her more comfortably in his lap. "At first, I tried to work," Eliza continued. "I got a job at a clothing store. I left the girls with a neighbor who charged cheap. But then the neighbor moved away, and daycare, that's not possible. It's too expensive." "Did you try other jobs?" "I did." She gave a tired laugh. "But no one wants to hire a single mother with 2 small children. No overtime is possible. No covering shifts is possible. No traveling if needed. So they always choose someone else." Liam understood. "The world wasn't easy for people like Eliza. I started taking odd jobs," she continued. "Cleaning, deliveries, whatever came up. But with them, this small, it's hard. So I started selling flowers. I can bring them along. I can stay close. And we survive." She looked at Liam with those tired eyes. "It's not much. It's not what I dreamed for their lives. But it's what I can do now." "You're doing more than most people would," Liam said sincerely. "Sometimes it doesn't feel like enough." Her voice cracked slightly. "Sometimes I look at them and think they deserve more. A real home, toys, new clothes, food every day. They have you." Liam spoke firmly. "And that's worth more than anything else." Eliza looked at him. Truly looked. And for the first time, Liam saw something beyond exhaustion in her eyes. He saw hope. They fell silent for a moment. It wasn't uncomfortable. It was a silence of understanding, of 2 people who had been hurt by life and were still trying to carry on. Chloe started closing her eyes. Zoe was already almost asleep in Liam's lap, her blonde head resting on his chest. "I think someone is tired," Eliza said with a half smile. Liam looked at Zoe. She fought against sleep, her eyes opening and closing. "Let me drive you home," he said. "Liam, you've already done so much. I insist." Eliza didn't argue this time. She just nodded. Liam paid the bill. Left a generous tip. The waitress thanked him with a warm smile. On the way to the car, Chloe fell asleep in her mother's arms. Zoe also passed out in Liam's arms. The two blonde girls finally rested, finally with full stomachs. Eliza quietly gave him the address as Liam drove. The neighborhood was remote. Narrow, poorly lit streets, old buildings with cracks in the walls. Garbage piled up on some corners. It wasn't dangerous, but it was sad. Liam parked in front of a 3-story building. The paint was peeling. Some windows had broken panes, patched with cardboard. "It's here," Eliza said, her voice low, almost ashamed. They went up the stairs. The handrail was loose. The hallway smelled of mold and dampness. Some lights were out, leaving stretches in the dark. Eliza stopped in front of a door on the 2nd floor. She unlocked it carefully so as not to wake Chloe. She walked in. Liam followed, still holding Zoe. The room was small, very small. A single bed against the wall, a thin mattress on the floor with old but clean sheets, a small plastic table with 2 chairs, an old rusty 2-burner stove, a small sink, and on the ceiling dark damp patches, leaks that Eliza tried to catch with buckets scattered on the floor. But despite everything, the place was clean, tidy. There was a makeshift clothesline with washed and folded clothes. The girls' few toys were organized in a cardboard box. The bed had clean sheets. The floor was swept. Eliza did what she could with what she had. Liam felt a pang in his chest. This was her home, and she maintained it with dignity. Eliza gently placed Chloe on the mattress, took off her worn shoes, covered her with the blanket. Liam did the same with Zoe, laying the girl next to her sister. The two slept deeply side by side, holding each other's small hands. Eliza kissed each forehead. She whispered, "Good night, my flowers. Mommy loves you." Then she stood up and walked back toward Liam, who was standing near the door. "Thank you," she said, "for dinner, for bringing us home, for everything. You don't need to thank me. I do." She looked at him seriously. "But it's not just for the food or for the money the other day. Then for what? For the respect." Eliza spoke slowly, as if choosing every word. "You didn't look at me with pity. You didn't treat me like I was less because I was selling flowers on the street. You saw me as a person. And that," her voice broke, "that means more than any help." Liam didn't know what to say. Her words affected him in a way he hadn't expected. "You deserve respect," he finally said. "You are raising 2 girls alone. You are doing the impossible every day. That deserves more than respect." Eliza smiled, a tired but real smile. "Good night, Liam." "Good night, Eliza." He left and walked down the stairs. When he reached the car, he stood still for a while, looking at the old building. At the 2nd floor window where a faint light was still on, Liam had everything. Big house, imported car, full bank account, expensive clothes. Everything that society said was important. But inside that tiny room with leaks, there was something he hadn't had for years. Purpose, love, true dignity. A woman raising 2 girls alone. Keeping the place clean even with leaks. Keeping her daughters fed even when she wasn't sure where the next meal would come from. Keeping hope alive even when the world told her to give up. Liam rested his forehead on the steering wheel. He had been living on autopilot, work, empty house, loneliness, repeat. But tonight, for the first time in a long time, he had felt something real. Connection. Purpose. Something that made sense. He started the car and drove away. But he knew he would return. Because some people enter our lives and change everything. Without warning, without asking permission, they just enter, and after that, nothing is ever the same. Liam spent the entire morning at the supermarket. It wasn't something he usually did. He usually shopped online or quickly, picking up the basics, but today was different. Today he paid attention. He walked slowly through the aisles, stopped in the children's section, picked up diapers, 2 large boxes, wipes, diaper rash cream, gentle soap. Then he went to the food section, milk, lots of milk, sugar-free fruit juice, whole wheat bread, peanut butter, jam, rice, beans, pasta, tomato sauce, chicken, ground beef, eggs. In the fruit section, he chose carefully: apples, bananas, oranges, seedless grapes, strawberries. And finally, he walked through the bedding section. He saw a children's blanket. Soft, thick, warm, printed with stars and moons, he put it in the cart. When he reached the checkout, the cashier looked at all of it and smiled. Someone is going to be happy. I hope so. It was almost 2 in the afternoon when Liam parked in front of Eliza's building. He grabbed the bags from the back seat. There were many, heavy, but he didn't care. He climbed the stairs, avoiding the loose railing. The hallway was quiet. He stopped in front of the door and knocked. Silence. He knocked again, more slowly. He heard footsteps. The door opened. Eliza appeared. Her hair was wet, as if she had just washed it. She wore the same clothes as yesterday, but clean. When she saw Liam, her eyes widened. "Liam! Hi!" He lifted the bags. "I brought some things." She looked at the bags, then at him, then back at the bags. "You... What is all this?" "Groceries, and some things for the girls." Eliza stood frozen in the doorway, unsure what to do. "Can I come in?" Liam asked. "It's heavy." "Oh, of course, of course." She quickly moved aside. "Sorry, come in." Liam entered and placed the bags on the small table. Eliza closed the door slowly, still looking at everything. The twins were on the mattress, playing quietly with old dolls. When they saw Liam, Zoe smiled widely. Chloe waved her little hand. "Hi, girls," Liam said. Zoe stood up and ran to him, hugged his leg. Liam laughed and ran his hand through her blonde hair. Eliza watched, still in disbelief. "You brought all this?" Her voice was low. Liam started taking things out of the bags. Milk, fruit, bread, some things for lunch and dinner. He put everything on the table. Diapers. "I thought maybe..." He stopped when he saw Eliza's face. Her eyes were watery. Her hand covered her mouth. Trying not to cry. Her voice failed. "Why did you do this?" Liam picked up the new blanket and held it out to her. "They deserve comfort." He looked at the twins. "And so do you." Eliza took the blanket. It was soft, warm, new. She pressed it against her chest and looked down. The tears came. She made no sound, just let the tears fall while holding the blanket. Liam didn't know what to do, so he just stood there quietly, giving her space. After a while, Eliza wiped her face with the back of her hand. "I'm sorry," she said, her voice choked. It's been so long since someone..." She couldn't finish. You don't need to explain." She nodded, took a deep breath, folded the blanket carefully, as if it were precious. "Do you want to sit down for a bit?" she asked. "I don't have much to offer, but I do." Eliza pulled one of the chairs out for Liam. She sat in the other. The twins returned to the mattress and continued playing, but kept glancing at Liam every now and then. "How did you know?" Eliza asked softly. "Know what?" "That we needed it. All of this." She pointed to the groceries. "I didn't know, so..." Liam was honest. "I just thought I could help." They were silent for a moment. Eliza looked at her hands in her lap. "I always thought rich people didn't care," she said suddenly. Liam looked at her. "People with money, you know," Eliza continued. "I thought they only thought about themselves. That they didn't see people like me. And what do you think now?" She looked up and met his eyes. "I think I was wrong." Liam gave a half smile. "I wasn't always rich." He leaned back in the chair. "I grew up in a small house. My mother raised my brother and me alone. My father left when I was a baby." Eliza listened carefully. "We weren't starving. but it was tight. Liam continued. My mum worked 2 jobs, left early, came back late, but she always left food ready. There were always clean clothes. There was always a hug when we needed it. She sounds like an incredible woman. She was... Liam smiled sadly. She died 5 years ago, cancer. I'm so sorry. Thank you. He looked at the twins playing. She always said I had a good heart, that no matter how much money I had, the important thing was not to forget where I came from. Eliza smiled. She taught you well. She tried. Liam gave a low laugh. My brother didn't learn much. He only cares about spending, but I always remembered. And how did you get rich? I worked hard. He shrugged. I went to college on a scholarship. Got a good job. I moved up. 10 years later, I had my own company. Nothing huge, but enough to live well. Eliza shook her head, impressed. You must have worked so hard. Everyone works hard. Liam looked at her seriously. You work hard every day, much harder than I do. It's not the same thing. Yes, it is. He leaned forward. You are raising 2 girls alone, working, keeping them clean, fed, loved. That is harder than any business meeting. Eliza was quiet. Then she smiled faintly. Thank you for saying that. They talked more. About his childhood. About his mother who performed miracles with little. About his brother who only showed up when he needed money. About how Liam had built everything himself. Eliza talked about the parents she lost young. About the aunt who raised her with love but died too young. About how she had felt alone her whole life until the twins were born. The hours passed without them noticing. Chloe and Zoe fell asleep on the mattress, cuddled together, the old blanket covering them. May I? Liam pointed to the new blanket. Eliza nodded. Liam carefully picked up the blanket. He went to the mattress and covered the 2 girls. They stirred a little, but didn't wake up. They seemed more comfortable now. Warmer. He returned to the chair. Eliza was looking at him with an expression Liam couldn't decipher. What? He asked. Nothing. She shook her head. It's just, you are different than I imagined. How so? When I saw you in that nice car, I thought you were just another rich guy passing by. She spoke slowly. But you're not. You truly care. I can't help but care. Why? Eliza asked softly. Why us? Why did you come back? Liam thought about the answer, looked at the sleeping twins, looked at Eliza. Looked at that small room that she turned into a home. Because I saw you, he finally said. Truly, and I couldn't just move on. Eliza blinked quickly, holding back tears. Thank you, she whispered, for seeing us. They sat there, in the comfortable silence of that small room. They didn't need words. The silent care said more than any sentence. Liam had brought groceries. He had brought a blanket. He had brought hope. But more than that, he had brought something Eliza hadn't received in a long time. Respect, attention, presence. And in that moment, sitting in those old chairs, with the blonde twins sleeping peacefully under a new blanket, something began to grow between them. It wasn't love yet. It wasn't romance. It was trust. It was the beginning of something that could become much more, and they both felt it, even without saying it, because some things don't need to be spoken to be real. Liam returned the next day, and the next, and the next. He always brought something. Sometimes it was food. Sometimes it was clothes for the girls he saw on sale. Sometimes it was just himself, sitting in the old chair and talking to Eliza while the twins played. He couldn't explain why. He just knew that small room with leaks had become the place he most wanted to be. One Saturday afternoon, Liam arrived with more groceries. Eliza was washing clothes in the sink. Chloe and Zoe were playing on the mattress with their dolls. Hi, he said, walking in. Hi, Eliza smiled. She had flour on her face. Sorry about the mess. I was trying to bake some cookies for the girls. Can I help? You can put away the things you brought. She pointed to the small table. I'll finish up here. Liam started organizing the groceries. He put the milk in a small cooler that Eliza used as a refrigerator. Put away the bread, the fruit, the rice. Zoe started whimpering. What is it, sweetie? Eliza asked, still with her hands in the water. Zoe pointed to herself, made a face. Ah, you pooped. Eliza quickly dried her hands. Wait, Mommy will change you right away. I'll change her, Liam offered. Eliza looked at him, surprised. You? Why not? He shrugged. I have hands. I have a nose, unfortunately. He made a funny face that made Eliza laugh. Okay, she pointed to a box near the bed. The clean diapers are there. Liam went to the box, opened it, took out a diaper. That's when the envelope fell out. It was tucked between the diapers, white, crumpled, with a large red stamp. Liam picked it up from the floor without thinking, and read it. Eviction notice, final deadline, 15 days. His stomach dropped. Eliza had stopped washing clothes. She stood frozen, looking at Liam with the envelope in his hand. Her face had gone pale. Liam, He looked at her, then at the envelope, then back at her. How much time do you have? Eliza looked down. 12 days. 12 days, Liam repeated, incredulous, and you weren't going to say anything. I was going to fix it. Her voice was low. I always do. How? He wasn't angry. He was worried. Eliza, how are you going to fix it in 12 days? She didn't answer. She just returned to the sink and continued washing clothes, her hands trembling. Liam placed the envelope on the table. He went to Zoe and picked her up. Come here, little one. Let's change that diaper. He changed Zoe carefully. The girl stayed still, looking at him with those clear eyes. When he finished, he put her back on the mattress and kissed her forehead. Then he returned to Eliza. You can't live like this anymore. She continued washing clothes, pretending not to hear. Eliza. Liam lightly touched her arm. Listen to me. She stopped, but she didn't look at him. Come live with me. Eliza turned around quickly. What? My house has space. Liam spoke calmly. 3 bedrooms. One can be for the girls. You take another until things get better. Until you can find a better place. I can't. Yes, you can. Liam, I barely know you. You know me enough. He took a step closer. And I know you. I know you take care of your daughters. I know you work hard. I know you are a good person. Eliza shook her head. People will talk. They'll think. I don't care what people think, Liam interrupted. I care that in 12 days you will be on the street, and I won't let that happen. She looked at the girls. Chloe and Zoe were playing, oblivious to the conversation, happy in their little world. Is it charity? Eliza asked softly. Is it pity? No, Liam answered firmly. It's care. She finally looked at him, her brown eyes full of doubt, fear, hope. Why do you care so much? Liam took a deep breath. Then he took her hand gently. I understand what it's like to have plans shattered. Eliza frowned. I was engaged, Liam continued, his voice low. 3 years ago. We were going to get married. We had chosen the venue, sent out the invitations, everything ready. She waited, without interrupting. 2 weeks before the wedding, she called me. He looked at Eliza's hand in his, said she had met someone else, that she didn't love me anymore, that she couldn't marry me. Liam. I thought I would never want to share my life with anyone again. He looked up at her. I built walls. I focused on work. Avoided anything that looked like involvement. Eliza squeezed his hand. But then I saw you. Liam smiled faintly. I saw you at that intersection. With your daughters. Asking for help, but maintaining your dignity. And something inside me woke up. What? A desire to take care, to be present, to be part of something real. He held both her hands now. Life sometimes gives us a second chance, Eliza. And I think you are mine. Tears welled up in her eyes. What if it doesn't work out? What if... Then we try until it does. Liam spoke sincerely. But I won't leave you all on the street, not when I can help. Eliza looked at the girls again, then at the small room, then at Liam. Are you sure? I am... Really? Really? She took a deep breath, then nodded slowly. Okay, Liam smiled. A real wide smile. Okay. 3 days later, they moved. There wasn't much to take. Some clothes, the girls' toys, the new blanket Liam had given them, the old dolls. Liam's house was in a quiet neighborhood. It wasn't a mansion, but it was big, nice, clean, with a front yard. When Eliza walked in with the twins, she stood in the hallway, unsure where to look. "It's big," she said softly. "It is." Liam picked up her bags. "Come on, let me show you." He led them to the second floor, opened a bedroom door. "This can be the girls' room." Eliza walked in. The room was bigger than the entire room they had lived in. It had a large bed, a closet, a window with a light curtain. Chloe and Zoe ran inside, climbed onto the bed and started jumping. "Be careful," Eliza said, but she was smiling. "Let them play." Liam laughed. "It's their room now." He showed Eliza's room right next door, with a double bed, built-in closet, a small bathroom just for her. "It's too much," Eliza whispered. "It's so much more than It's what you deserve." Liam put the bags on the bed. "And my room is downstairs. You have your privacy up here." Eliza looked at him with gratitude. "Thank you, truly." "You don't need to thank me." He pointed to the stairs. "I'm going to make dinner. Come down whenever you want." That night, they ate dinner together at a real table, with real chairs, hot food, electric light that didn't flicker. The twins ate everything. Eliza did too. For the first time in a long time, they ate without rushing, without worry. After dinner, Liam bathed the girls. He taught Zoe how to make foam with the soap. He carefully washed Chloe's blonde hair. Eliza watched from the doorway, her heart tight with so much emotion. When the girls went to sleep in the big bed, she covered them with the blanket, sang softly until they closed their eyes. Then she went downstairs. Liam was in the living room, reading. "Are they asleep?" he asked. "They are." Eliza sat on the sofa. "Thank you for everything. Stop thanking me." He smiled. "We are family now, in a way." Eliza smiled back. "Yeah, I guess we are." The days began to settle into a rhythm. Liam woke up early. By 6 in the morning, he was already in the kitchen preparing coffee. Eliza came down with the girls still in their pajamas. "Good morning," he would always say. "Good morning," they would reply. They ate breakfast together. Scrambled eggs, toast, fruit, juice. The twins ate slowly, still sleepy. After breakfast, Liam played with them on the living room floor. He built block towers that Zoe knocked down. He read stories that Chloe listened to attentively. "I have to go to work," he would say when the clock struck 8. "Bye-bye," Zoe would say, waving. Liam would kiss both their foreheads. He would look at Eliza. "Call me if you need anything. I'll be fine. I know." He would smile. "But call me anyway." And he would leave. Eliza spent the day taking care of the house, cleaning, cooking, playing with the girls. But she would always find a note from Liam around the house. "There's lasagna in the freezer if you want to make it for lunch. How was your day? Did the girls behave? I brought strawberries yesterday. They're in the fridge." Small notes, small acts of care, that made all the difference. When Liam returned at night, the house smelled of food. Eliza had learned where everything was in the kitchen. She made simple but delicious dinners. "He's here," Zoe would shout when she heard the door. Both girls would run to him. Liam would pick them up, one on each side. "How were my girls today?" "Good," Chloe would say, babbling the words. "She's talking more," Liam would comment to Eliza. "She is," Eliza would smile. "Today," she said, "doll," clearly. They would have dinner together, talk about the day, laugh at silly things the girls did. After dinner, Liam would teach them new tricks. He started with clapping. "Look," he clapped slowly, "like this." Zoe tried, missed, tried again, got it right. "That's it." Liam celebrated. "You did it." Zoe clapped her hands alone. Proud, Chloe learned next. Soon they were both clapping and giggling. Eliza watched from the kitchen, washing dishes, but with a smile on her face that she couldn't hide. One night, Zoe stood up from the floor by herself. "Liam," Eliza called, excited. "Look." Zoe took a step, stumbled, took another and another. She was walking. "Come here, Zoe." Liam knelt down, opening his arms. "Come here." She walked toward him, fell into his arms, laughing. "You walked?" Liam twirled her in the air. "You walked all by yourself?" Chloe clapped. Tears were in Eliza's eyes. "First time," she said. "It's the first time she's walked." Liam looked at Eliza. He saw the emotion on her face. He understood. Those moments, these first times. She was living them with someone beside her now, not alone. The weeks passed. Routine turned into affection. Care became natural. Liam was no longer a visitor. He was part of the family. The girls ran to him when he arrived, asked to be held, asked for a story, asked to play. And he gave it. He always gave it. Eliza saw everything. She saw how much he cared. How he took care of them. How he loved those girls who were not his by blood, but were becoming his by choice. And something inside her began to change too. It was no longer just gratitude. It was something deeper, scarier, more real. But she was still afraid to name it. One night after the girls were asleep, Eliza and Liam stayed in the living room. "Thank you," she said softly. "Are you starting that again?" Liam teased. "I'm serious." She looked at him. "You changed our lives. You changed mine too." They looked at each other. A long look, full of unspoken things. "Liam?" "Yes." "Do you think—" She hesitated. "Do you think we can truly be happy? Not just now, but forever?" Liam smiled. Her sincere, hopeful smile. "I think we already are." And in that moment, in that warm room with two blonde girls sleeping upstairs, two wounded hearts finally began to heal. Together. Because sometimes healing doesn't come alone. It comes with someone who stays, who cares, who chooses you every day. And Liam had chosen Eliza and the girls. And Eliza, finally, was beginning to believe that maybe she could choose too. 3 months passed since Eliza and the girls had moved into Liam's house. The routine had become consolidated. The twins already called Liam Uncle Liam and ran to him every time he got home from work. Eliza had learned every corner of that house. She cooked. She cleaned. She took care of everything with affection. But there was something that bothered her. She wasn't contributing, not financially. She lived off Liam's generosity, and no matter how little he made it an issue, no matter how much he never charged her anything, Eliza felt it. She felt like she was living off his kindness, and that hurt. One Thursday afternoon, Liam came home earlier than usual. Eliza was in the kitchen making cookies with the girls. Chloe and Zoe had flour everywhere, even in their blonde hair. The kitchen was a happy mess. "I'm home," Liam announced. "Uncle Liam." Zoe ran to him, leaving flour footprints on the floor. He picked her up, not caring about the mess. "What are you doing?" "Cookies," Chloe showed her dirty little hands. "How delicious." He looked at Eliza. "Can I steal you for a minute?" Eliza frowned. "Sure." She wiped her hands on her apron. "Girls, keep cutting the cookies with the cutter, okay? Mommy will be right back." They agreed, engrossed with the dough. Liam led Eliza to the living room. He had a brown folder in his hand. "Sit down," he asked. Eliza sat on the sofa, her heart racing. Had she done something wrong? Was he tired of them being there? Liam sat next to her and opened the folder. Inside, there were pictures, many pictures. Eliza picked one up. It was a picture of a small store, simple facade, empty window display, glass door. "What is this?" she asked. "A store." Liam picked up another photo and showed it. "It's downtown, busy street, good for business." Eliza looked at the pictures, confused. "Why are you showing me this?" Liam took a deep breath. Then he took something out of his pocket, a key. He placed it in her hand. "I rented it for you." Eliza's eyes widened. "What?" "The store." Liam pointed to the pictures. "It's small, but it has potential. I thought you could turn it into something of your own, something of mine. Her voice was weak. A flower shop. Liam smiled. You selling real flowers, in a fixed location, with structure, regular clients. Eliza looked at the key in her hand, then at the pictures, then at Liam. I can't accept this. Why not? Because, she stood up, nervous. Because it's too much, Liam. You already do too much. Eliza, no. She shook her head. You already gave us a home, food, clothes for the girls, everything, and now a store. Her voice failed. I don't want to look like I'm living off handouts. Liam stood up too. It's not that, but it looks like it. She looked at him with watery eyes. I don't contribute anything here. I don't pay rent. I don't pay bills. I don't help financially. I just exist. And accepting a store on top of everything. People will say I'm taking advantage of you. I don't care what people say, us, but I do care, Eliza almost shouted. Then she lowered her voice. I care, Liam. I need to have dignity. I need to feel like I can do it on my own, that I'm not just a charity case. Liam took a step closer. You have never been a charity case to me. Then what am I? She looked at him. Because from my perspective, I'm a woman you took off the street and who lives off your kindness. You are someone I chose to have in my life. Liam spoke firmly. And this store is not a handout, it's an investment. An investment in your future, in the girls' future. He took the pictures back. You want independence? Here it is. Work in the store, sell your flowers, earn your own money, build something that is yours. Eliza looked at the pictures again. The store was small, simple. But it was a space, a place, something that could be hers. I don't have money to rent a store, she said softly. That's why I rented it. Liam, listen to me. He held her shoulders gently. I know what you are feeling. I know because I've been there. Eliza frowned. How so? Liam let go of her and walked to the window. He looked out for a moment before speaking. I wasn't always rich, he began. I told you I grew up poor, but I didn't tell you everything. Eliza waited. When I finished college, I was full of debt, Liam continued. Student loan, credit card, back rent. I had nothing, and I couldn't get a job because no one hired someone without experience. He turned to her. One day, a professor of mine called me. Said he had a friend who needed someone in his company. Offered to recommend me. I refused. Why? Pride. Liam gave a humorless laugh. The same reason you are refusing now. I didn't want to look like I needed help. I wanted to succeed on my own. Eliza bit her lip. And what happened? He gave me a lecture. Liam smiled faintly. Said that accepting help is not a shame, that everyone needs help at some point, and that if I didn't accept, I would spend the rest of my life stuck in the same place purely out of pride. And you accepted? I accepted. Liam nodded. I got the job. I worked hard. I moved up in the company, and 10 years later, I opened my own. He walked back toward her. That professor gave me a chance. He opened a door for me. He held Eliza's hands, and now I want to open a door for you. Not because I pity you, not because you can't do it, but because I can, and because I want to. Tears were in Eliza's eyes. But what if I fail? What if the store doesn't work? Then we close it and try something else. Liam spoke simply. But at least you tried, and what if people say that, to hell with people, he interrupted. People always talk, they always have an opinion, but you are the one living your life, not them. Eliza looked at the key in her hand. I'm scared, she admitted softly. Of what? Of failing, of disappointing you, of not being enough. Eliza. Liam gently lifted her chin. You are already enough, more than enough. This store is just a tool, a means. It doesn't change who you are. She closed her eyes. The tears flowed. I just wish I could repay everything you've done. You already repay me. He wiped her tears with his thumb. Every day. You take care of the house. You take care of the girls. You cook. You turn that house into a home. That's worth more than any money. But no buts, he smiled. Accept the store. Turn it into something beautiful. Sell your flowers. Earn your money. And when you are able, if you want, you can pay me the rent. But for now, let me help. Eliza opened her eyes. She looked at Liam. At that man who had appeared out of nowhere and changed everything. Why do you do this? She asked once more. Because when I saw you at that intersection, I saw my mother. Liam spoke sincerely. I saw her struggling alone to raise us. I saw her accepting help when she needed it, even with shame. And I saw her become strong because of it, not despite it. Eliza sobbed. You will succeed, he continued. I know you will. You are strong, you are hard-working, and you deserve to have something of your own. She looked at the key again. Small, simple, but full of possibilities. Okay, she finally said. Okay? Okay. She nodded, more firmly now. I accept. The store, the help, everything. Liam smiled widely. Great. I can take you there tomorrow so you can see it personally. Tomorrow? Eliza wiped her face. So fast. The sooner you start, the better. He picked up the pictures and handed them to her. Think about what you want to do with the space, how you want to decorate, what kind of flowers you want to sell, and we will set it up little by little. Eliza looked at the pictures attentively now. She started imagining vases in the window, colorful flowers, a simple counter, shelves on the wall, something of hers. Finally, thank you, she whispered. Stop thanking me. Liam gave a laugh. We are family, and family helps each other. From the back of the house, they heard Chloe shout, Mommy, the cookies! Eliza and Liam ran to the kitchen. The girls had eaten half the raw dough and had chocolate all over their ears. Eliza couldn't be angry. She just laughed. Liam did too, and in that moment, with half-eaten cookies, dirty girls, and a store key in her hand, Eliza felt something she hadn't felt in a long time. Hope. Hope that maybe, just maybe, she could truly build a life. A real life, not just survive a man to live. And all because a man had stopped at an intersection and decided to see her, to see the girls, to see the potential where others only saw a problem. His past validated her present, and the future. The future finally seemed possible. Dinner had been simple. Homemade pasta with tomato sauce, garlic bread, salad. The twins had eaten well. Chloe had asked for seconds twice. Zoe had stained her whole shirt with sauce, but she was happy. Afterward, Liam had bathed them while Eliza washed the dishes. Now, the two were sleeping soundly in their room, hugging the teddy bears Liam had bought the week before. Eliza walked down the stairs slowly. The house was quiet. Only the low sound of the TV in the living room. Liam was sitting on the sofa, but he wasn't watching anything. He was just looking at the floor, lost in thought. They're asleep, Eliza said, approaching him. He looked up. Fast. They were tired. They played all day in the backyard. She sat next to him. Are you okay? I am. He gave a half smile. Just thinking. About what? Liam was silent for a moment. Then he took a deep breath. About how strange life is. Eliza frowned. What do you mean? We make plans. He looked at his own hands. We imagine what the future will be like. We have everything mapped out in our heads. And then, life goes in a completely different direction. Eliza didn't say anything. She just waited. I always wanted to build a family, Liam continued, his voice low. Since I was a kid, I wanted to have kids, a house full of people, noise, mess. That thing about everyone sitting down at the table on Sunday and having lunch together. He smiled sadly. My mom used to do that. Even with little money, even tired, she always made a point of us sitting together to eat. I wanted that for my future. I wanted to give that to my kids. Eliza listened in silence, her heart heavy. When I met her, I thought I had found it. Liam looked at the ceiling. The right person, the life I wanted. We dated for 3 years, got engaged, planned everything. The wedding, the honeymoon. We had even decided on the number of kids. 3, he said with a humorless laugh. We wanted 3 kids, 2 boys and a girl. Stupid, right? To think you can plan those things. Eliza lightly touched his arm. What happened? Liam took a deep breath before continuing. I was engaged for almost 2 years. His voice grew quieter. We had set the date, reserved the church, sent out the invitations. My mum had bought a new dress, even though she was sick. She was so happy. He paused, swallowed hard. 2 weeks before the wedding, she called me, said she needed to talk. I thought it was about the last details, flower colors, those things. He shook his head. But it wasn't that. Liam. She said she had met someone else. The words came out quickly now, as if they hurt less that way. At a work conference, 3 months before, she said she had tried to forget, tried to stick to the plans, but she couldn't. She didn't love me anymore. Eliza felt a pang in her chest. She left, Liam continued. Without looking back, cancelled everything. Returned the ring by mail, moved cities, and I was left there, with a reserved church, 200 invited guests, and a sick mother who cried more than I did. He finally looked at Eliza. My mum died 6 months later, and until the end, she told me I would find someone, that I would have my family. His voice cracked, but I didn't believe it anymore. I thought I had lost my chance, that I wouldn't want it anymore, that I would live alone for the rest of my life. Eliza had tears in her eyes. I'm so sorry, she whispered. Me too. Liam gave a sad laugh. Especially because my mom was right. She was always right. They were silent. Then Eliza spoke, her voice low. I know what it's like to have a dream and end up alone with it in your arms. She paused. Literally. Liam looked at her. I planned everything too. Eliza continued. I thought I had found the right person, that we would get married, have kids, be happy. She smiled sadly. When I found out I was pregnant, I was scared. But happy too. I thought it was the start of our family. And him. He smiled. He hugged me, said everything would be fine. Eliza wiped a tear. But when we found out they were twins, his face changed. He stopped talking about the future, started coming home late, going out without telling me. She looked at her hands in her lap. When I was 5 months pregnant, carrying 2 girls who hadn't asked to be born, he left a note. Her voice was firm now. Said he wasn't ready, that it wasn't what he wanted, that I had to understand. Did you go after him? I tried. Eliza gave a bitter laugh. But he had truly vanished. Phone disconnected. Empty house. No one knew where he was. Or no one wanted to tell me. She took a deep breath. Chloe and Zoe were born prematurely. They spent 2 weeks in the NICU. The tears fell now, and I was alone, completely alone, looking at my daughters in those incubators, thinking I was going to lose them, thinking I wouldn't be able to do it. But you did it. I did. She nodded. Because I didn't have a choice. They needed me, and I wasn't going to give up. Liam took her hand. You are stronger than you think. I don't feel strong. Eliza looked at him. Most days, I just feel tired and alone and scared of not being enough for them. You are more than enough. They looked at each other, a long, deep look, full of understanding. 2 strangers who had been hurt by life, who had had dreams shattered, who had been left alone when they needed someone the most, but who now, somehow, had found each other. We're a strange match, aren't we? Eliza gave a teary laugh. We are, Liam smiled, but I think we fit well anyway. You do? I do. He squeezed her hand. You understand what it's like to be left behind. I understand what it's like to build expectations and watch everything fall apart. We speak the same language of pain. Eliza nodded slowly. It's strange how pain can bring people closer. It's not the pain, Liam corrected gently. It's the healing. We are healing together. Little by little. She looked at him. Truly looked. She saw beyond the man who had stopped at the intersection. She saw beyond the generosity and kindness. She saw someone like her, hurt, healing, trying to believe again. "Thank you," she said, "for trusting me, for sharing this. Thank you." Liam rubbed the back of her hand with his thumb. "For letting me be part of your life, of their lives." "You're not just a part," Eliza spoke softly. "You are essential. I don't know what it would be like without you anymore." "You don't have to know," he smiled, "because I'm not going anywhere." They sat there, on the sofa, holding hands. They didn't need any more words. They didn't need grand promises. They just needed this, that understanding. That acknowledgement. Two people who knew what pain was, who knew what abandonment was, who knew what it was like to get up from the floor when everything told them to give up, and who now, together, were learning what it was like to trust again, to love again, to live again. The old pain became a bridge. A bridge between two hearts that had been broken but were, slowly, rebuilding, not alone, but together. And maybe, just maybe, that made all the difference, because wounds recognize other wounds, and in shared healing, something new is born, something stronger, something more real, something worth fighting to keep. The Saturday dawned sunny. Liam woke up early and prepared a hearty breakfast. Today would be a workday, but not the kind of work he was used to. Today would be different, special. Eliza came down with the twins, still in their pajamas. "Good morning," she smiled. "Excited? Very?" Liam served her coffee. "I brought everything we need. Paint, rollers, brushes, masking tape. It's all in the car. Can the girls come?" "Of course." He knelt down in front of Chloe and Zoe. "You are going to help Mommy paint her store today. Are you going to like it?" "Yes." Zoe clapped her hands. Chloe just smiled, still sleepy. An hour later, they were in front of the store. Eliza got out of the car and stood on the sidewalk, looking at the space. The facade was dirty, the window display dusty, but there was potential, a lot of potential. "Ready?" Liam asked, taking the paint cans from the trunk. "I think so." He unlocked the door. They went inside. The space was small, but welcoming. Natural light poured in through the large window display. The floor was old, but clean, polished concrete. The walls were peeling, but nothing that paint couldn't fix. "What do you think?" Liam placed the cans on the floor. Eliza slowly spun around, observing every corner. "I think it's perfect." The twins ran inside. Their voices echoed in the empty space. "Echo," Zoe shouted, laughing when she heard her own voice come back. "Echo," Chloe repeated, giggling. Liam opened the paint cans, white for the walls, light green for an accent wall. He had brought tarps to protect the floor, rollers, brushes of all sizes. "Shall we start?" He held out a roller to Eliza. She took it, her hands trembling slightly with excitement. "Let's go." They started with the back wall. Liam showed Eliza how to use the roller, making W movements to spread the paint well. She caught on quickly. "Like this?" She showed him. "Perfect." Liam smiled. "You're a natural at this." The twins got bored after 5 minutes. "Mommy, can we play?" Zoe pulled on Eliza's pants leg. "Let me get something for you." Liam went to the bags he had brought and took out empty plastic pots, small but colorful, light. "Look, you can play florist." Chloe's eyes sparkled. "Flowers." They took the pots and started playing in a corner. They pretended to plant. They pretended to water. They talked to the imaginary flowers. Eliza watched out of the corner of her eye, her heart warm. "Thank you," she said to Liam. "For what?" "For thinking of them too, always." They continued painting. The back wall became white. Then they started on the sides. The work was tiring, but enjoyable. Little by little, the space was transforming. When they stopped for a snack, the twins were covered in paint. It wasn't intentional. They were just curious. Zoe had touched the wet wall. Chloe had bumped into a paintbrush. Now both had white spots on their clothes, arms and faces. "You two are impossible." Eliza laughed, trying to wipe Zoe's face with a cloth. "They are perfect." Liam picked up Chloe. She had paint on her nose. He pretended to wipe it, but actually smeared a little more. "Uncle Liam," she laughed. "What? It was you?" Eliza shook her head, smiling. She took out her phone and snapped a picture. The two blonde girls, covered in paint, laughing in Liam's arms. A perfect moment. After the snack, they went back to work. Liam started painting the accent wall light green. Eliza continued with the white on the other walls. "What will the name be?" Liam asked as he rolled the paint. "Name? For the store. Have you thought of one?" Eliza stopped painting. She thought for a moment. "Bloom," she said softly. "I want to call it Bloom." Liam smiled widely. "It's perfect." "Is it?" "It is." He looked at her. "Because it's exactly what you are doing. Blooming." Eliza felt her eyes water, but quickly blinked. She wasn't going to cry, not now. Now was the time to build. In the middle of the afternoon, people started passing by and looking curiously. A woman stopped at the door. "Are you opening a store?" "I am." Eliza approached, shyly. "A flower shop." "How wonderful." The woman clapped her hands. This neighborhood needed a flower shop. "The closest one is 3 blocks away." "Really? Really?" She stepped inside a little. "When are you opening?" "In a few days. I need to finish the renovation. Bring in the flowers. Organize everything. I'll be back." The woman smiled. "I'll be your first customer." Eliza could hardly believe it. Her first customer. Even before opening, other people stopped. Said hello. Asked questions. Wished her good luck. The neighborhood was receptive, curious, excited. Eliza felt a wave of hope. Maybe it would work out. Maybe she really could do it. By the end of the afternoon, the walls were ready. White and clean, with the back wall in light green that brought life to the space. "Tomorrow we'll bring the sign." Liam put away the brushes. "I had it made. It should be ready today. A sign. With the name, Bloom." He smiled. "In beautiful letters. For everyone to see." Eliza hugged him, suddenly, without warning. She just hugged him tightly. Liam was surprised for a second. Then he returned the embrace. He held her firmly, his chin resting on the top of her head. "Thank you," Eliza whispered, "for believing in me. Always." On Sunday, they returned early. Liam had the sign in the car. It was beautiful. Wooden letters, painted white with gold accents. Elegant yet simple. Exactly Eliza's style. Bloom. Liam climbed a ladder and fixed the sign above the door. Eliza stood on the sidewalk, watching. When he finished and climbed down, they stood side by side looking. "It's beautiful," she said. "It is." Liam put his arm around her shoulders, just like the owner. Eliza leaned her head on his shoulder. The twins ran on the sidewalk, chasing a butterfly. Their laughter filled the street. "They are happy," Eliza commented. "They are..." Liam watched the girls. "And you?" Eliza thought. "I'm starting to believe I can be." During the week, Eliza worked hard. She bought flowers at the farmer's market, ceramic pots, soil, tools, colored ribbons, wrapping paper. Liam helped set up shelves on the wall. He placed a simple counter near the entrance. He installed better lighting. The twins stayed in a corner with their toys. Sometimes they helped their mother organize pots. Sometimes they just watched. On Friday, the store was ready. Colorful flowers in the window, ready-made arrangements on the shelves, pots organized by size, a pleasant smell of fresh flowers. Eliza looked around with tears in her eyes. It was hers, truly hers, something she had built. With help, yes. But with her own hands too. On Saturday, they officially opened. Eliza arrived early. She wore a simple but nice outfit. She tied up her hair, took a deep breath and flipped the sign on the door. Open. The first customer was the woman who had stopped by the week before. "I told you I'd be back." She walked in smiling. "I need an arrangement for my granddaughter's birthday." "Of course." Eliza approached. "What colors does she like?" "Pink. She loves pink." Eliza started working. She chose roses, lilies, daisies. She put together a delicate, beautiful, balanced arrangement, tied it with a pink ribbon. "That's beautiful." The woman applauded. "How much is it?" Eliza charged a fair price. The woman paid and even left a tip. "I'll be back and I'll bring my friends." More customers came. A woman buying flowers for her sick mother, a man wanting to apologize to his wife, a young girl who just wanted to brighten up her room. Eliza served each one with care. She asked about the occasion, about the person who would receive it. She created personalized arrangements with meaning. The women in the neighborhood started showing up, curious at first, then enchanted. "You have a knack for this," one of them commented. "The flowers look prettier in your hands." Eliza blushed with pride. Liam stayed there the whole time. He didn't interfere. He didn't get in the way. He just watched from the corner, a discreet smile on his face. He saw Eliza talking to customers, laughing, creating, blooming. Chloe and Zoe played near the window display. Sometimes they waved to passers-by. People found it very cute. "Are those your daughters?" a customer asked. "They are." Eliza looked at the girls with love. "Chloe and Zoe, they are beautiful." Little blonde girls with clear eyes. They look like dolls. Eliza smiled, her girls, happy, safe, surrounded by colors and flowers, a different childhood than the one she had been able to give them until now, a childhood with care, with stability, with love all around. At the end of the day, Eliza counted the money. It wasn't much, but it was hers, earned with hard work. With talent, Liam helped close the store. He put the twins in the car while Eliza turned off the lights. Before leaving, she stopped and looked around one last time. Her store, her space, her new life. She locked the door carefully and got into the car. At home, Eliza made a special dinner: lasagna, salad, garlic bread. The twins ate quickly, tired from the day. They took a bath and went straight to bed. Eliza went upstairs to cover them, kissed each little face, adjusted the blanket. "Good night, my flowers. Mommy loves you." She went downstairs and found Liam in the living room. He was sitting on the sofa but not doing anything, just looking at the stairs, thoughtful. "What are you thinking about?" Eliza asked, sitting next to him. "About the girls he looked at her, about how fast they are growing, happy, safe. Thanks to you." "No," Liam shook his head. "Thanks to you. You are the one who cares for them. You are the one who loves them. You are the one who fights for them every day." Eliza was quiet for a moment. Then she took his hand. Interlaced their fingers. "Liam?" "Yes?" She took a deep breath. She needed to say it. She needed to speak. "With you, I feel safe." The words came out low, but firm, for the first time in a long time. Since the girls were born, I've always been afraid. Afraid of not being able to manage, afraid of failing, afraid of being alone again. Liam squeezed her hand. "But with you," she continued, "I don't feel afraid anymore. I feel peace. I feel home." She turned to him, her eyes shining. "I want this for us." Her voice cracked slightly. "I want a family, a real one. Not just for convenience, not just because you helped us, but because I love you." The words were out. Finally, after months of being held back. Liam froze, his eyes wide, his heart pounding. Then he smiled, a huge smile full of emotion. "Eliza, I'm sorry if it's too soon." She spoke quickly. "I'm sorry if I shouldn't have. We already are." Liam interrupted gently. "What? A family?" He held her face with both hands. "We already are, even without realizing it." Eliza let the tears fall. "You wake up every day and make coffee for us." Liam spoke with a choked voice. "You leave notes for me when I leave. You wait for me to come back. The girls run to me when I arrive. We have dinner together, laugh together, take care of things together." He wiped her tears with his thumbs. "This is already family, Eliza. The most real one I've ever had." "Really?" "Really?" He rested his forehead against hers. "And I love you too. I think I have since that day at the intersection. It just took me a while to understand." Eliza sobbed and hugged him. Liam pulled her close, holding her tightly. They stayed like that for a while, just hugging, feeling, healing, loving. Safety had turned into love. Care had turned into commitment. Cohabitation had turned into family. And there, in that simple living room, with two blonde girls sleeping upstairs, with a new store waiting to bloom, two hearts finally found their place. It wasn't perfect. It never would be. But it was real. It was true. It was theirs. And that, in the end, was all that mattered. The Bloom Flower Shop was 3 months old. 3 months of loyal customers, of arrangements sold, of bills paid with sweat and hard work. Eliza still woke up sometimes thinking it was a dream, but it wasn't. It was real as her calloused hands, as real as the smile that now lived on her face. That Tuesday morning, the store was quiet. Only 2 customers had shown up early. Eliza was reorganizing the vases in the window when the door chime rang. "Good morning," she said without looking up, adjusting a vase of lilies. "I'll be right with you." Silence. She turned around. A man stood at the entrance, grey suit, tidy hair, looking around with an uncertain expression. Eliza's heart stopped. Then it pounded. It couldn't be. He turned and saw her. His eyes widened. "Is that you?" It was him. After 4 years. After disappearing without a trace. Eliza took a deep breath. 1, 2, 3 times. She wouldn't panic. "Can I help you?" Her voice was firm, cold. "Eliza, I didn't know you had a store. Life goes on." She crossed her arms. "Even when people leave." He looked down, embarrassed. The twins had stopped drawing in their corner. They looked curiously at the strange man. He saw them and froze. Are those them?" Eliza positioned herself in front of the girls, protecting them. "They are my daughters. They've gotten big. They're beautiful. Children grow, especially when someone takes care of them." The jab landed. He winced. "What do you want?" Eliza had no patience. "Why are you here?" "I live nearby now. I moved a few months ago. I saw the store. Walked in without knowing it was yours. Now you know. You can leave." "Wait." He raised his hand. "I need to talk to you." "About what?" "You already said everything 4 years ago." "In a note." He ran his hand through his hair, nervous. "I was an idiot. I shouldn't have left you alone." "But you did." "I did." His voice cracked. "And I regret it. Every day." Eliza let out a dry laugh. "Regret doesn't pay bills. It doesn't provide food. It doesn't change diapers. It doesn't stay up with a crying baby. I know. You don't know." She took a step closer. "You don't know what it's like to be alone in a delivery room, to see your daughters in the NICU with no one by your side, to work 3 jobs, to sell flowers in the cold, to live in a place with leaks, to be afraid of not being able to feed your own daughters." He was pale. "You don't know because you weren't there. You chose not to be. I was young. I wasn't ready. I had plans, and I didn't." Eliza interrupted. "No one is ready, but some people stay and fight." She took a deep breath. She felt a strange calm. It wasn't easy. She said, looking him in the eyes, "There were days I thought I wouldn't make it, but I got back up, and now I have a family, a real one, people who stay, who care, who choose to be present." He tried to speak, stammered. "Maybe I could meet them. The girls." "No." Eliza spoke firmly, without anger. "They don't need you. They have everything they need. But I'm their father. A father is who raises them, who stays. You are just a man who contributed genetics, nothing more. He didn't know what to say. Today, I have peace, Eliza continued softly. Real peace, and that's worth more than any excuse you can give. The door chime rang. Liam walked in with tools. Hi, I managed to leave early. He stopped when he saw the scene. Is everything okay? Daddy! Zoe shouted, running. Daddy! Chloe ran after her. Both girls hugged Liam's legs. He dropped the tools and picked them up, but his eyes were on Eliza. Worried, the man looked at everything, at the girls calling another man daddy, at Eliza looking at Liam with love, at Liam holding the girls as if they were his own. He understood. There was no space there. There never was. There never would be. I'll be going. Eliza just nodded. He walked to the door, stopped. They are beautiful. You did a good job. I know. He left. The chime rang. Silence. Liam put the girls down. Go play, okay? They returned to their drawings. Liam approached Eliza. Who was that? Their father. The biological one. Liam tensed up. Did he say anything? Nothing that matters. He wanted to justify himself. I didn't let him. He wanted to meet the girls. I said no. How are you doing? Eliza thought, good. I'm fine. I feel nothing for him. Liam held her hands. You were amazing. Because he no longer has power over me. Eliza spoke clearly. He was my past. But you all... She looked at the girls. You are my present, my future. Liam pulled her into a hug. Eliza rested against his chest. The past had knocked on the door. She had looked him in the eye and closed the door right back. 2 weeks later, late afternoon, the sun was setting, painting the sky orange and pink. In the small garden behind the store, Chloe and Zoe ran among the pots. Now bigger, almost 3 years old, they had more coordination. Eliza had bought small watering cans for them. Colorful, just the right size. Mommy, can I water? Chloe asked, holding the pink watering can. You can, sweetie. Those daisies over there. Chloe went carefully. Watered slowly, her tongue sticking out in concentration. Zoe did the same with the roses, her blue watering can held carefully. Eliza watched, her heart overflowing, her girls happy, healthy, safe, growing up surrounded by flowers. By colors, by care. Liam was in the corner assembling a wooden bench. It's almost done. He screwed in the last piece. Just needs sanding and varnishing. It's going to be beautiful. It will be nice to sit on at the end of the day. Look at the flowers. Rest. Daddy. Zoe dropped the watering can and ran. Look. She had a daisy in her hand. How beautiful. Liam knelt down. Did you find it? I did. Daddy, me too. Chloe ran over with a rose. This one. Wow, you have an eye for flowers just like Mommy. The girls smiled radiantly. Eliza watched. Tears came. Good tears. They called Liam Daddy now. Naturally. Without being forced. It had started a few weeks ago. Zoe first. Then Chloe. And Liam had cried with emotion, because he was their father, not on paper yet, but in his heart, in practice. And they knew it. Even though they were small, they knew it. Eliza approached the bench, sat next to Liam. The girls went back to playing. She rested her head on his shoulder. He put his arm around her shoulders. Thank you, Eliza said softly. For what? For stopping at that intersection, for seeing us, for coming back, for staying. She held his hand. Thank you for showing up in our life. Liam squeezed her hand. His voice was choked. Thank you. You taught me what real love is. You taught me what family is. You gave me something I thought I had lost. He turned to Eliza. Purpose. Home. Love. Eliza smiled, full of emotion. They stayed there, watching Chloe and Zoe play. The blonde girls ran, laughed, watered the flowers, growing up in peace, in safety, in love, a complete family. Not perfect. It never would be. It had scars. It had a history. It had pain healed with time. But it was real. It was true. It was theirs. The sun set further. The sky turned purple. The flowers glowed in the soft light. Liam kissed the top of Eliza's head. She closed her eyes, holding on to that moment. "We made it," she whispered. "Despite everything. We did, and we will continue to. Together." Chloe stumbled and almost fell. Liam stood up quickly, but she balanced herself, laughed, kept playing. "They are growing fast." "They are, but we'll be here, for every moment." The stars began to appear. Zoe pointed up. "Mommy, look! Star!" "I see it. Sweetie." "Daddy, do you see it?" "I do, little one." Eliza leaned her head on Liam's shoulder again. "Do you think we will be happy like this forever?" Liam thought, then answered sincerely, "I think happiness isn't forever. It's for now. For today, for this moment. But if we choose it every day, if we keep staying, then yes." Eliza smiled. "Then I choose it, every day. I choose you. I choose us. I choose this family. Me too." And there, in that small garden full of flowers, with two blonde girls playing under the stars, two people who had been broken found healing. Not alone, but together. Because life restarts every day, and sometimes all we need is someone who stays, someone who chooses to stay, in the good times and the bad, in the easy and the difficult moments. Liam had stayed. He had chosen to stay, and Eliza had learned that accepting love was not weakness, that building together was no less dignified, that family doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be real, and theirs was the most real there was. The girls continued playing. Eliza and Liam stayed there, sitting, watching. A family born from an improbable encounter at an intersection, a family built with care, respect, and love. A family that proved that second chances exist, and that sometimes, when everything seems lost, life surprises you. With a car that stops, with a man who sees, with a mother who resists, and with two blonde girls who learned that love has nothing to do with blood. It has to do with who stays. Liam looked at Eliza. She looked back. They smiled, without words, without needing to. Because some things are so true that they need no explanation. Their love was like that. Simple, real, true. Born from pain, built with patience, strengthened with daily presence. Chloe brought a flower to Eliza. Zoe brought another to Liam. "For you, Mommy, for you, Daddy." They took the flowers, thanked them, hugged the girls. And in that moment, with flowers in their hands and daughters in their arms, they understood. They had everything. Everything that truly mattered. It wasn't perfect, but it was enough. More than enough. It was complete. Night fell completely. The stars shone brighter. The garden was quiet, only with the low laughter of the girls. Liam turned on a small light. Eliza prepared to take the girls inside. 5 more minutes, Zoe asked. 5 minutes. Eliza agreed, because they had time. They had a whole life ahead of them, a life built together day after day, choice after choice. And as Liam watched his family there in the garden, under the stars, surrounded by flowers that Eliza had planted with love, he knew that was his place. Those were his people. That was his home. And for the first time in a long time, he was complete. Eliza thought the same thing. Looking at Liam, at the girls, at everything they had built, she was complete. Finally. And it was good. It was very good. It was everything. If this story touched your heart, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next ones. Leave a like, because it helps this story get recommended to more people. See you in the next story.